More AI tools. Same manual workflow?
Hey everyone. So most businesses do not need AI tools. They need AI workflows. So you may have noticed, like, a lot of companies subscribe to several AI tools. Employees use ChatGPT or similar platforms, and the management believes that AI adoption has begun. However, you know, it is still being copied and pasted, between like emails, um, like CRMs, and uh, between different work spreadsheets and internal systems. So a lot of copying and pasting happens. So AI is helping with isolated tasks, but it is not improved. It has not improved the complete business process. Okay. Um, Let me begin with a simple question. How many AI tools has your company experimented, uh, say, during the last year? Perhaps your marketing team uses one tool to generate content, your sales team uses another tool to write emails, your development team uses AI for coding, your support team may have introduced a chatbot. Management may also be paying for an AI assistant inside the CRM. It feels as though the company is adopting AI, but now ask a more important question. Has the complete workflow actually changed, or are your employees still copying information from one application, pasting it in another application, right? Checking a spreadsheet, sending an email, and creating a task manually. This is the difference between using an AI tool and building an AI workflow. An AI tool helps a person complete one activity, and AI workflow helps the organization complete an outcome. So this is very important to understand.
A tool
Okay.
completes a task. A workflow produces an outcome.
So imagine that a potential customer fills out a form on your website. In many businesses, someone receives an email notification. The person opens the form, researches the company, decides whether the lead is relevant, enters the information into the CRM, writes an introductory email, creates a follow-up task, and informs the sales salesperson. Okay, and an AI writing tool may make the introductory email faster, but almost everything else remains manual. The organization has introduced AI into one task, but it has not redesigned the workflow. So unless you redesign the workflow, AI is not going to actually benefit you much. That is why many businesses are disappointed with the return on their AI investments. Their they expected transformation, but what they received was just faster content generation. The next stage of AI is not simply asking better questions inside a chat window. It is connecting intelligence with business actions. A properly designed AI workflow could begin the moment the form is submitted. Okay, the system could validate the contact information, research the organization, compare the prospect with ideal customer profile, classify the opportunity, create the CRM record, prepare a personalized response, and assign the next action to the correct salesperson. So if you look at this kind of implementation, like for a low value or irrelevant inquiry, it could just send an appropriate response automatically. For a high value prospect, it could prepare everything and ask a human salesperson for approval before before sending the message. So this is where it is actually beneficial, and you can say that it's the right implementation of AI. Okay, the salesperson would not begin with an empty CRM record. The salesperson would begin with context. That is where AI creates measurable value. The purpose of AI should not be to create more information for employees to process. It should reduce the amount of routine work between an event and the required business outcome. At Agami Technologies, we think about AI workflows through four layers. The first layer is the trigger. What event should begin the workflow? Okay. It may be a form submission, an incoming email, a missed payment, a support request, a customer behavior signal, a document upload or change in the CRM. Or it could also be from webinars, advertisements. I mean, you can actually define your own sources. The second layer is context. And this is important. What information does the AI need before it can act intelligently? This may include customer history, okay, company policies, depending on what the trigger is and what you need it for, right? Previous conversations, product information, account status, or documents from an internal knowledge base. Without context, even a powerful AI model will produce generic answers. Now let's move on to the next layer. The next layer is action. Okay, what happens? After the AI understands the situation. Okay, should it update the CRM? What should it do? That's the next thing, right? So where did it initiate from? What is the context, and what is the action? That is the third one, right? Should it prepare a report, send a message, route the case to a specialist, or should it generate a document, request missing information? I mean, that is the action. Now, the final layer is control. Which action can happen automatically and which actions require human approval? This is very critical, right? Because otherwise it would be like having a very powerful equipment, without control, right? So an AI workflow does not have to be completely autonomous to be valuable. In financial services, healthcare, legal work, or let's say what else, in like recruitment and customer facing communication, a human approval layer can be a strength, right? Because you are making sure that the AI does not send any random information, right? Sometimes it may happen, so we have to be careful about it, right? So it allows the organization to automate preparation and administration while retaining the human judgment for sensitive decisions. Human review is not evidence that the AI workflow has failed, but it is an evidence that the workflow has been designed responsibly. The mistakes many companies make in the beginning with the question, right? Where can we use AI, right? The better question would be like, which business outcome currently requires too many manual steps? Okay. Look for the activities that are frequent, repetitive, and measurable. End of the day, it's a very advanced sort of automation, right? So we have to understand like where exactly it can fit in. Let's take an example. How long does it take to respond to an inquiry or to a new inquiry? How many times does the same information get entered, right? How many follow-ups are missed? How much time is spent preparing routine reports, right? I mean, we have been doing in the past also, but with AI, things have changed at a very rapid pace. I mean, the way we use AI is entirely different, right? I mean, it can be autonomous and it can actually do things for you and notify you, right? Uh, it has the capability of taking judgments too. That is an important aspect from regular automation versus AI, versus AI automation. How many? So the other questions could be like, how many customer questions require employees to search through several documents? How many tasks are delayed because one person must manually pass the information to another? These are like some good starting points for AI workflows. You should actually ask this. You can add more questions, right? Do not begin with your most complicated process. Begin with a process that happens frequently, creates visible frustration, and has a clear outcome. Then map the workflow as it exists today. Okay, identify every system involved, every decisions, right? Every decision, every manual handoff, and every point where information can be lost. Only after understanding this should you decide where AI belongs. Sometimes AI is needed for classification, interpretation, or generation. Sometimes conventional automation is sufficient. So you have to understand, like, do you really need AI, or it can be handled by some regularly operating jobs or something. I mean, when I say jobs, it means scripts. Like if it is a scheduled script, which can do the work and you are okay with it, right? And sometimes the best improvements is simply, removing unnecessary steps. That is why copying Chat GPT into every application is not an AI strategy. Uh, the model is um, the model is only one component. The real value comes from combining the model with business rules, organizational knowledge, integrations, permissions, what else? Monitoring and human accountability. The current shift towards AI agents makes this even more important. AI systems are increasingly capable of completing longer and more complex tasks, but they still need access to the right tools, informations, and approvals. So a disconnected AI agent simply becomes another disconnected tool. So you have to be careful about it. A connected and governed AI workflow becomes part of the organization's operating system, right? Or you can also call it business operating system. This is where Agami technologies can help. We do not start by recommending a particular AI model. We begin by understanding the workflow. In fact, this is not something new, which we have been doing, but with AI, things have actually really, I'd say, fast paced, right? Extremely fast paced, right? So we identify the business pain, study the systems and data involved, define where human judgment is required, and then design appropriate combination of software, integration, automation, and AI. The result may be an internal AI assistant, who knows? It may be an intelligent, customer support workflow. It may be an agent that prepares reports, processes documents, qualifies leads, or coordinates work between different applications. But the objective is always the same: reduce the manual effort, improve response time, create accountability, and produce a measurable
Where is the
business
file?
outcome.
I don't have it.
Connect your workflow with one approval. Get measurable results. Do not add AI to the chaos.
So,
Redesign the
after
work.
watching this, do not ask your team how many AI tools they are using. Ask them to show you one complete workflow that has genuinely improved. Okay. So, what should you ask? What event starts it, right? Um, what information does it understand? What actions does it complete? Where does a human approve it? And what business results have changed? because the companies that benefit most from AI will not necessarily be the companies with the most AI subscriptions. They will be the companies that redesign work around intelligence, integration, and human judgment. Most businesses do not need another AI tool. They need one important workflow to work significantly better. That is where that is where meaningful AI transformation begins. Thank you so much, and like and subscribe to our videos for to watch more or more around automation, AI, and any type of business value. Thank you.